Lesson 10-15, Symmetry. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to identify reflection, rotation, and point symmetry. So make sure you have your pencil and paper handy so you can take notes. When figures can be reflected or rotated and the result is the original figure, these figures have symmetry. The first example is reflection symmetry. A figure has reflection symmetry if a line, called the line of symmetry, which you see right here, this is the line of symmetry, can be drawn through the figure so that part of the figure on one side of the line is a mirror image of the part on the other side. So here we have this vertical line of symmetry. The letter K has an example of using a horizontal line of symmetry. Here's a diagonal line, and this one has all of them. So you see, if we cut it down the middle, on the other side, it's exactly the same. Our next example is rotational symmetry. A figure has rotational symmetry if the figure coincides with itself when rotated in either direction. So here we have this pentagon, and if we rotate it, it's going to be the same. So we can rotate it around and it'll still stay the same shape. This one has 120 degrees rotational symmetry. So if we turn this a third of the way around, it's still going to be the same shape. Our last example is point symmetry. A figure has point symmetry if there's a central point so that the part of the figure on one side of the central point is the reflection of the part on the other side. So here we have the S, and we have this point right here. We can flip this over, and it would be the same. The same here with this N, and then this right here, if we put that in the middle. So it's also 180 degree rotational symmetry is also point symmetry. So if you can rotate this 180 degrees, just like that, it would be right down here, and it would be the same. Here are 3 examples I want you to try. First, we have this word, toot. Next is the year 1961, or the number 1961, and the last is the shape. So I want you to write down below each of these what type of symmetry they have, and then come back and check your work against mine. All right, first here we have the word toot, and it has this line right down the middle here. And so that one has reflection symmetry. The next one is the number 1961. So they give you that hint by having that dot there in the middle. That would be rotational symmetry. You can rotate that right around that dot and it stays the same. And this last one, it's got all those points of symmetry. So that one is rotational, reflection, and point. So I'll just do R and R for rotational and reflection. And it also has point symmetry. So that was an example of all 3. Make sure you rewatch any part of today's lesson, and make sure you have the definitions down for all 3 different types of symmetry before heading off to do today's assignment.